I'm going live right now because I want to get a message out about Paul. Uh, Again, let me emphasize, Paul never lived. He's a mythical creature, all right? Probably created by a writing committee. Okay, so I'm not talking about anything historical when I say Paul, all right? I'm not talking about a living man. So let me get started and say what I want to say right now. Paul, he is, or they, the writing committee, are responsible for destroying the self-image of men and women all over the world. Also, the hybrid troglodyte nigger colonists, all right, the foreigners who are ancestors allowed to do commerce on our land in North America. So how did Paul do this? We talked about this in depth in our Saturday class, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all can come. The link to the class is in the description area of this video. You can come for free. Make sure you read the instructions, all right, before you come. So what did Paul do? Paul destroyed your self-image. Paul made you think that you're dirty and that you are unfit and that you need someone to save you. Let me repeat that. It was Paul who started this doctrine of sin, man being born into sin, all right? Let me just say this. You were not born a sinner. You were born perfect. Perfect for all of those purposes that you were put here on this plane. Paul, again, is the person who started this notion that you are sinful, bad. From the beginning, you came out of your mother's womb, bad, imperfect, unfit, needing a savior. In other words, you need somebody outside of yourself in order for you to get salvation. This has absolutely nothing to do with the contract that the Most High made with his people. You don't believe me? Go read it. I prefer if you go read that contract. Y'all call it in religion the Mosaic Covenant. Go read it. You'll find nothing that says that you need a savior. In fact, if you go through those books that they call the Hebrew Scriptures, what you're going to find is that every man is responsible for himself. A son is not responsible for the sins of his father. So if Adam is your father, how are you responsible for Adam's sin? Huh? How are you responsible? How are you going to be born in sin, imperfection, and death, and need a savior so that you can live eternally when you're not responsible for your father's sin? All right? But that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to talk about that. What I want to focus on is that it was Paul who began this notion. And so what was his motivation to do that? What was Paul's motivation? Well, it was to put you in a civilly dead state, right? Put you in a civilly dead state and start to refer to you as a descendant and your little ones as a descendant, right? What does descend means? Descend means to fall, doesn't it? Descend means to fall. You are falling. Y'all get that? You're falling. In other words, you are fallen, all right? Fallen from birth. And therefore, you need a savior. Therefore, these magicians, these dark priests, the black dark priesthood, etc., They were able to put together a mythological creature from the Gospels. They call his name JC. He's the Christ figure. All right, Paul calls him the Christ. So what does the Christ mean in Greek? It means oil, Christos. And if you look into this further, you're going to find out that Christos not only means oil, but guess what? It means sperm. Yeah, sperm. Sperm. Now go back and look at the modern Hebrew meaning for the pictograph none. All right? You'll see sperm, you'll see seed, you'll see fish, you'll see sea creature. All right? That's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see. Another reference to Dogon / Raphaim. Y'all see that? This is why priests, pastors, and preachers go to seminary school. Y'all see that? Seminary school. The oil, the sperm. All right? Y'all got that? So these dark priests who practice the dark magic, who use tragedy, they use storytelling, tragic storytelling to capture your mind and transport you into reality that has no existence in the material world. Y'all got it? None whatsoever. And as a result of transporting you into the abstract world of your imagination, you might remember those are the Moors. The Moors, you may remember what Noble Darrell-El said. He said, living things are connected. Every living thing is connected by cords. All right, so what does that mean? That means the dead and the living don't mix, right? Oil and water don't mix. The dead and the living don't mix, okay? So now they transport you, just like a Harry Potter movie, into a false reality. They create images in your mind and feelings in your mind that are not according to nature, and they are obviously false. Y'all got it? Your perception of yourself is that you're inadequate, you're dirty. Connect this, y'all, to the biological warfare that's been going on since the 50s. What happened in the 80s? Herpes, right? Herpes came out. All right? Everybody was afraid of herpes. Okay? You get these open sores, like a form of chicken pox, right? Same family of viruses. So now people began to feel dirty about their sexuality and their sex organs. Y'all got that? Shortly after that, what did they do? They brought in the HIV/AIDS hoax to make you feel even more dirty about your sexual organs. Y'all got that? Make you even more afraid of yourself and each other. Destroying your self-image, making you think you are dirty. Y'all got that? These are psychic attacks and biological warfare. So what did Paul do? Paul was the one who started this notion, this doctrine, that through one man's sin entered into the world, right? Thus death spread to all men. All right, and now you need a savior. So going back to the Gospels, that astrological book became the basis of the dark priesthoods writing team to develop a mythological and theological JC the Christ. Y'all got that? Actually, JC the Messiah / the Christ, right? two different meanings. They overlaid this mythological man over the original astrology story, which only detailed and documented the course of the sun through each of the 12 zodiac signs in 365 days. That's all it was. It was nothing but a mnemonic, if you will. All right? To preserve the science of the seasons and the effect of the constellations, the energetic effect of the constellations on Earth and living things. Period. The mythology of a savior came later. All right, y'all? So Paul got you to believe that you're dirty and filthy and you need a savior. Specifically so you would then attach yourself to this mythological Christ. All right? So that then you would voluntarily submit through your consent and actions to being declared civilly dead. You, your kin, so you know I'm talking about your significant other and your seed, right? Yeah, that's what they did. That's what Paul did for you. So now you're running around here still 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old, still thinking you're born into sin, still feeling dirty and everything else. Still looking for somebody else to come save you, right? And who's that somebody else? Christianity in all of its various forms. And hello, how are you guys?
Nice to see you, Dan.
Nice to see you. I'm doing YouTube live. You wanna go? These are
really? Oh
yeah.
my
God.
God.
No, you can.
Wow.
Live?
Yeah, you want to be on?
How many people? That's great.
I don't know. No, this you can't count this. It doesn't.
Oh.
They don't.
Oh, that's
It calculates
fun.
later.
So you go out for a walk?
Yeah, these are my students.
Hi guys. No one says.
No, you can't count this. This doesn't. It's not accurate.
Like you go there every Friday?
I go in at 1:50.
Oh.
Yeah, why are you guys here?
We
Birthday for last month.
dance.
For dance?
Yeah.
So you guys are at school, but you're here to dance?
Yes.
Rehearsal.
Rehearsal. Okay. Well, it's good to see you guys. I'll be back at school at 1:50. Okay, bye-bye. All right, guys. So I lost my place. Those of you who don't know, in order to stay here in Vietnam, you either have to work. These are changes after COVID. Hopefully they'll change it back. But changes after COVID, you either have to work to stay here, or you have to get married or start a business. I haven't figured out how to start a business yet. So I gotta work to stay here. But that's all right. Actually, it's kind of good because I'm doing advanced English. I'm teaching advanced English and IELTS classes. So I'm getting a lot of ideas to incorporate with my Ibaryath grammar book. So it's a good thing. Maybe it's supposed to be like this, right? Because I know I would not have done this kind of review unless I had to. All right, y'all? So where was I at? The Apostle Paul. Paul and, the psychic attacks on your self-image. All right, so what happens when you have a negative self-image? You begin to deviate toward negative things, and you engage in negative behavior. Y'all got that? You deviate toward negative things. You're acting in negative ways to yourself and your family and community, your not family, your kinfolk and your community. Let me just say your community, all right? And worse than that, long term, worse than that, you begin to attract negative things into your life because your awareness is focused on the negative. Y'all see it? Whatever you are focused on, whatever you fear the most, whatever you desire the most, whichever is stronger, the fear or the positive desire, that's what you will attract into your life. So do you see why Paul or the writing committee, all of the media presents you with negative media, constantly bombards you with constant negative media, constant negative images of yourself, constant negative music, right? Music is extremely powerful. Okay, it's extremely powerful. Puts you in a negative consciousness, and therefore you attract negativity in your life and toxicity. So in other words, you're on remote control or autopilot toward negativity. All right? And as I said in the last live stream I did about the deception or Paul's genocidal deception, you willingly put yourself under the authority of the nation state that you're in, which is owned by the Catholic Church. Remember we talked about that? Through those 3 trusts that were set up, you voluntarily, knowingly or unknowingly, give them ownership of you. And you, through your assent, through your consent, agree to be a thing. You agree to be chattel. This is Genesis chapter 1, right? This is Genesis chapter 1, where the mankind that was made, the hybrid troglodyte niggers, they were told to have domination, subjugate, oppress, etc., all living things on the earth, or all moving things on the earth. That would include you, right? Because you move. Okay? This is why they're calling you cattle and chattel. But anyway, in my opinion, that is Paul's most harmful psychic attack, was to make you think that you are sinful, meaning that you are dirty. Paul did that to make you think that you are dirty and that you are imperfect and you need somebody outside of yourself to save you. Okay? When the truth is, you are your own savior. You are your own savior. And unless and until you recognize that, you are doomed. Okay? Unless and until you recognize that, you're doomed. So, y'all turn back to the Most High. Return back to the Most High. Follow natural law. All right? Follow natural law, the Most High's instructions. That contract that y'all are calling the Mosaic Covenant, at its essence, or in reality, it is nothing more than natural law, right? Don't harm anybody. That's it. Don't harm anybody. You don't need any other instructions than that, do you? That's common sense, right? It's easy. Anyway, you can come to our Saturday class, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's live online. Make sure you read the course description. It's not free. You can come a few times for free. All right? So if you want to buy any of the Ibaryath books, keep in mind that everything I know that I talk about, I've got it through Ibaryath. I've got it through my study of linguistics, okay? Words really matter. Grammar really matters. Grammar rules really matter. Vocabulary really matters, right? If you don't have mastery over these things, linguistic concepts, you are in trouble, all right? You're in trouble. You can easily be deceived, right? Be deceived by what? Spells. Spells. What are spells? Spells are stories written audio, or visual. All right, you're easily deceived by the spells. So in Zion Law School, we talk about connotative linguistics, okay? And denotative linguistics, we talk about abstract and concrete concepts, so on and so forth. If you don't have a good handle on these things, you are going to be victimized, not just by your religious leaders as you are being victimized now and blinded, because most of you will not admit because you can't see. Some of you can see that you're being victimized, but you continue to do it anyway out of fear. Maybe you feel you have no place else to go, you don't know what to do. Regardless of what your reason, you stay. All right, you stay. So that's too bad for you. Hopefully you can get out of that.